I'm back, Mad Hatter Scrappy. Gonna tell you another story about another time I had another surgery on that same leg. Yep, same leg. They had to go back in and do something different to it. Well, I was in the hospital, and this doctor comes in. He says, "Oh, we are going to operate on your leg, and we're going to do this and that." And I said, I don't care as long as I'm asleep. And the same thing, he says, "Oh, you don't need to be asleep. We'll just give you a local and you can talk to." I said, "I'm not going to do it. I want to be asleep before you take me out of this room." He says, "Well, okay." And he leaned over and started marking something on my knee. He wrote wrong one on the left leg. I said, what's that for?" He says, "Well, that's to make sure we operate on the right leg when we get you in there." I said, "You're the surgeon and you got to mark what leg you going to operate on? Don't you think that's a little kind of iffy there?" He says, "Oh, no, we do this all the time just to prevent problems." So I said, "Okay, go right ahead." Said, "As long as I'm asleep before I leave this here room, we're okay." A little while later, a nurse comes in there. She give me a couple of little white pills. I said, "Is that going to put me to sleep?" She says, "Just take them." So I took them and I laid back there and I was smiling because I thought I was going to go to sleep before they ever took me out of that room. A little while later, somebody come in there and they started unhooking stuff. Says, "We're going to take you on to surgery." I said, "It ain't working. I'm still wide awake." They said, "Don't worry about it. It's okay." I said, "No, it ain't okay. I'm wide awake. Now what's going on?" They rolled me out, started rolling me down the hallway, and I seen some fellers there in white coats, look like doctors. I thought they should know. So I told them, "Hey, look at here. It ain't working. I'm still wide awake." And they looked at me like I was ignorant or something. They rolled me on down into the operating room there where they's getting me ready, and I told them folks, I said, "It ain't working. I'm wide awake, and I'm not supposed to be that way." Well, they said, "It'll be okay." Everybody in there said it'll be okay. They don't care. They ain't the ones getting ready to be cut on. Well, they rolled me into the operating room, and I told the folks in there, I said, "It ain't working." And this nurse, she sat me up on the cot, put some electrodes on my back, and then laid me down, and my arm went out to the side like this. And I told that nurse, I said, "Hey, it ain't working. I'm supposed to be asleep." She started that IV and said, "It'll be okay." And then I feel somebody poking me on the shoulder. So I opened my eyes up and I said, "Hey, it ain't working. I'm wide awake." And she says, "Honey, it's over." I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah. But I still wish they'd have put me out before they took me out of my room. I don't like to know about that stuff. Nope, not doing it. Tell you what, y'all like, share, and subscribe, okay? I really would like to get some numbers on this here stuff. And besides that, I want y'all to have a great day. Get out there and enjoy some sunshine. Go fishing. Fishing is a wonderful thing to do. You sit there under the tree and you just kind of look around and wait for some stupid fish to bite your bait. Have a great time, y'all. Bye.